Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
The Nicholls State football Colonels recently went into LSU's Death Valley and gave those guys an actual game. LSU was favored by 46 points and ended up winning by half that amount and only with late scores and a few helpful calls by the referees. On a related note, Ed Ogeron wants to know, how do you like me now, bruh? And while we are on the subject of underperforming teams, this is Dave and Juan.
And 3.
Number 2.
1.
Woohoo!
America, it may be a day later than usual, but you are still
You're still welcome, man.
very flippin' welcome.
We could have easily just skipped it.
But we didn't. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
That's right. Since it's technically a day later, hey, a 15% discount on this one, y'all.
Exactly.
Because we're here, it's about the people.
Well,
We're here for the people. So I'm sitting in the Sugarland, Texas studios this evening. I awoke in New Orleans this morning at the Eliza Jane. Have you ever stayed at the Eliza Jane?
I've never even heard of the Eliza Jane.
It is. We discovered that place 5, 6, 7 years ago, and it used to be a newspaper, not a factory, but they used to make it was like a printing situation, big building, and it's a Hyatt property now. And we found it and loved it, and it was great. And then everybody else found it, and it sucks when something. But it was pretty good this time around. But yeah, so I made the drive in from New Orleans this morning.
Dude, y'all gotta, I don't know if it's good luck or what, but man, Saints looked good yesterday.
I got to say, so yeah, we just assumed let's kick off with that. But here's how you know what that game was like. About midway through the third quarter, I guess. I availed myself of the restroom and standing there in the row of urinals there. And it's funny the conversations you have while you're standing at a urinal. And really, guys at football games will just, yeah. And then this guy standing next to me, several people have this conversation. He says, are we this good or are they just that bad?
Yeah. And I
everybody
think
at the
that's
urinal
the
agreed.
question.
Yeah, everybody at the urinal agreed. No, man, they're just that bad. They're just that bad. And being a Houston Texan fan as well, again, a season ticket holder, I should be at the opening home game for the Texans against Chicago this coming Sunday. I think that's a Sunday night game. Lovie Smith used to be the coach of the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
And people gave him a hard time because the Texans were horrible and were set to get the first pick in the draft.
Yeah.
And they went and win the one game they weren't supposed to win.
Yeah.
Because I think they made Lovie mad. They even announced before the game that Lovie was fired. I think Lovie went out there and just to stick it to the Texans, they won that game, which kept us from drafting.
Yeah, none like the Miami a few years ago, the whole tanking for Tua stuff. Yeah.
No, but Tua's at least, Tua's showing some.
Yeah, Tua's all right.
He looks kind of fragile, but so because of that, the Texans were not able to draft Bryce Young, and we had to settle for C.J. Stroud, who looks like he may be already a top 10 quarterback. He's, I don't want to jinx the young man, second year, but I got to watch Bryce Young play in person. Dude, he's tiny. It doesn't, as small as he looks on TV, it doesn't do justice when you're up close and watch.
This is the thing. Very few SEC quarterbacks do well in the NFL.
I think in the future they will. Obviously, you got Joe
Yeah.
Burrow, you got Jaden Daniels,
Jaden Daniels is gonna
gonna
do well, but
right.
it's just,
You're gonna have that because historically it's been, and we're not gonna go. Trust me, guys, we're not gonna go down SEC football too much here. But no, historically the games were, Alabama was big running, and anybody could quarterback
yeah,
you.
it's not your running, gunning guy.
But now, let's look back now. Jalen Hurts. I guess I guess if you look at it, now he ended up not finishing the SEC, but anyhow, this is how bad that Saints game was. It got boring. It was boring. It was over in the first quarter.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think the Saints scored on the opening drive at all last year.
and then the
Much
first,
less to bust 30 in the first quarter.
and then the first throw, that young throw
Yeah,
was
yeah,
picked off.
yeah.
But anyway, so that. New Orleans, I'll talk about some New Orleans stuff that was fun, but that was not the best game. You went to a better game than the
Dude.
one I went to.
Yeah.
And all I got to say is, go Colonels. So Nicholls
Dude,
State,
impressive showing.
Nicholls State went into Death Valley, and I don't want to hear it, LSU fans. You were gonna win, right? You know how bad the spread was. I even got my son. My son put up $50. It was Nicholls plus 46. That was the kickoff spread.
Wow.
LSU was favored by
Well,
46
let me tell you,
points.
so early in the second half, Nichols was down by 2.
Wasn't it the halftime score? I thought Nicholls was
They came back. Nichols scored. I think they were down by 9 at halftime.
okay.
Scored the early in the third quarter. The only reason it was 2 is because a botched punt, a botched snap on the punt.
Right.
Early in the game went for a safety. But dude, they hung with it. The running back ate it up.
And the referees, I am sorry, there was some LSU home cooking on those
Yeah.
calls.
It's
Which annoys me to all get out. You have young dudes playing. There ain't no NIL going on there. These guys actually have to go to class. In fact, my son is in a class with one of the offensive linemen.
Yeah.
And he texted him that day and said, "Hey, bud, I put money on y'all."
So it's no LSU is going to win based on the sheer number of players, the depth that you can rotate 5 guys in and 5 guys out all night long. Nicholls can't do that.
Too big, too fast. I got it.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, there was a moment there, and that this worked out perfect for us because we were in New Orleans with our friends, the Calais. Hi, Gavin. Hi, Dolly. We try to do it once a year and see a Saints game, and it's harder now that the boys are older and stuff. But we were able to do it this time, and it was great. And we spent. It's a successful New Orleans trip. We were there from Friday evening all the way to this morning, and I didn't step foot on Boubon Street once. Not freaking.
So your shoes are still good, is what you're saying.
Didn't get the special smells. Although it rained so hard, so long, all week long, that's about as clean as you're going to see New Orleans, right? You get 3 or 4 days of a deluge. You're going to wash off most of the city. It reminds me of the old David Letterman joke about New York. When it rains, it makes its own gravy. But no, on the Saturday we went down to, and look, I grew up, but here's funny. I've been to New Orleans far more since leaving Louisiana than when I lived. You're young and broke. You're not going to New Orleans all the time. But went to a place the area called the Bywater. The area. And it's just interesting. We got Ubered down there, and it's kind of weird. Okay, here's Boubon Street. Well, you just keep going.
Right.
So, before long, you're going to have houses.
You got the Maroney.
Yeah. So we went to was it Bacala's, and we did a little hopping around down there. It's really cool. It looked like every house down there, some kind of historic site or something. They got a plaque on everything. I like neighborhoods that you can just say, "I'm gonna paint my house green." Yeah. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have a Mardi Gras house. I'm gonna have green and purple
shutters.
And it looks good. But so we did some of that. Hit church on a Saturday night, a little bit late. I gotta say that. I don't know who I'm gonna blame on that one, but we got there. So shout out, man. I got to do this. If you're around New Orleans, y'all got to support this little church. It's a Roman Catholic church in Bywater. It's on Dauphine Street. So here's the deal. Blessed Francis Xavier Silos. Long name. Long name. Beautiful. Beautiful church. But we walk in there, my two sons, me, my wife, and then Gavin and Dolly, right? Gavin and Dolly, my age. And we joked about it after that we lowered the average age of
Oh, wow.
Oh man. It was one of those things where you look around, and that's an issue with a lot of churches, but the Catholic Church, some of these old, beautiful Catholic churches are in areas that, it's just older people, not a lot of young folks living around there.
Mhm.
But met the priest after. It's fun. He's only been there a couple months, and heavy Spanish accent. I think it's Spanish accent. So I didn't quite understand most of what he was saying, but he said Jesus a lot. So I knew I was in the right place. He said Jesus a lot.
Well, so how about that? So I saw the priest from Thibodeau, from the cathedral in Thibodeau, at the game, or before the game. I just recognized him. My cousin got married there a couple of years ago, and he did the way. He might be the one at on campus. I don't know. Fairly young priest, but basically he had a black shirt on, and it was a Nike shirt. So it had the logo, like I've got this Adidas logo, and then embroidered on this side was the Nicholls logo, but it had the collar buttoned down and had the white collar on.
Yeah. Oh, what's
Yeah.
his name? Yeah, my son goes. There's a church that church. You mean? Oh
St.
wait,
Thomas Aquinas.
oh that one. Yeah, that's not the cathedral.
Mhm.
Cathedrals. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw him. I mean, I met him
Gotcha.
at doing a wedding at the cathedral, but I think he is the
Gotcha.
pastor
I
at.
think I think he's a South Louisiana boy too. I mean, I think
Yeah,
he's
uh-huh.
from the area. Yeah, but yeah, all it was fun. So we did that, and the funny thing on the way out, waiting for an Uber. So I ended up talking to the priest. He was thrilled to have visitors from. I think, boy, I could just tell we disappointed him, man. He was hoping we were new parishioners. You know, he was hoping
6 of them. Yes.
because I guarantee you, he did well on our pew because you feel kind of guilty, and we've been drinking. So you feel kind of bad not being a little more generous than normal on a, the cheapest thing we did was church. But talk to him after and he was, oh, thank you so much for visiting us and on and on and on and on. Um, we walked away and I told my wife, I said, all right, go ahead and put them on the monthly. I found out on the drive down there, we apparently we must belong to 3 or 4 parishes. She's like, oh no, you give money to them. So we do? Yeah. So, hey, hit us up. Apparently Catholic parishes, if you're in trouble.
Yeah, just send it to the Martin home.
Yeah,
Send that
don't send
envelope.
it to me. It will go straight. I would treat that like a political thing I get. Now my wife, she's on that, but yeah. And apparently what happened with this church is after Katrina, there were 4 or 5 churches that were really heavily damaged, or parishes. They combined. They rolled it into this. So this church itself has some beautiful stuff in it. They took statues and various things
Oh,
from.
okay.
Yeah, you know what? Even if you're not a Catholic, y'all, if you're in that area, the church was built in like 1866, so it's historic and really nice. Now, hey, look, by the way, they're not a sponsor of us now. I'm just saying, I felt a special place for Blessed Francis Xavier Silos. We will try to hit them again next time we're in there.
Like Silos Green.
Yep, straight from there to Manning's to see about catching the game.
Mm-hmm.
And man, you know the thing about a weekend in New Orleans, dude, you can't swing a dead cat. You shouldn't swing a dead cat, but if you had a dead cat to swing, you couldn't swing a dead cat and not hit a bayou person. They're everywhere. And I'm walking around with my friend Gavin and Dolly, and they know everybody. We just joke about that. You can't walk 30 feet. Whereas so I saw some folks in in Manning's. They had it on the big screen inside the LSU Nicholls game. So my wife, being the player that she is, said, hey, give me some money. And she went, paid it a little lady that was doing the thing. So they gave us a table, at least where we can, up close on the first little kind of row. They have the seats you can, I guess, buy or rent.
Yeah, I've watched a game there.
Yeah, I didn't feel like doing that, but we got a table like right over it.
Mhm.
And go Colonels, man. I got to tell you something. We were loud. And it's easy to be loud in there because everybody else in there was LSU. There wasn't a single Nicholls person
Well,
in.
it's been a long time since you've seen people calling for the coach's head after a victory.
Dude, I got a bring back Ed chant going.
Yeah, yeah.
But third quarter, bring back Ed. And I got to be honest, I mean, not everybody, because there was some depression going on. And the funny thing was, about, I don't know, midway through the third quarter, I mean, LSU was up. But it was, the game was, I'm saying Nicholls was,
The fact that midway through the third quarter,
it was a game.
it was a game should be embarrassing to
And,
LSU.
and somebody, there was a table full of LSU people next to us and older people, young kids, and they were kind of cool. And we weren't being, look, we were having fun, high-fiving and stuff like that. And something happened, and one of them started cheering, and I kind of looked over and smiled, and he said something about, well, the cheering going over there, we got to do it. And I said, you guys are favored by 46 freaking points.
Yeah.
The level of enthusiasm right here is a little different. I would not be cheering a first down if I was favored, but they were fun. I had fun with them, and no fisticuffs were exchanged, Juan.
If you paid attention to the broadcast of the game, apparently during a stoppage of play in the game, and ESPN was still running, they spotted a couple in the stands, and they kept the camera on them for a while. And apparently, the couple was having a little spat because they were sitting there, and all of a sudden, the guy got up and moved over a seat, and then just sat there. And for whatever reason, that was all over my wife's feed yesterday, and people are making memes out of it, saying, "Oh, dude got caught with his side chick," and all this other stuff. And it's like, looks like, which one do you think farted? And so my wife shows it to me. It's my cousin and his wife.
No way.
Yeah.
No way. Your cousin
Yeah.
and his and oh, did you reach out and say, bro?
I sent it to her. And I'll tell you who she is. Her sister was about our age, from Cutoff. No, from Lockport.
About to say from okay.
No, from Lockport. So some Blanchard.
Oh, no, exactly. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So but yeah, and so her response was, those seats are tight. And I was, hey, that's a good response. But yeah, it was all over Joey's feed yesterday. I just thought it was hilarious.
So if you're out in public with your wife or your husband, act lovey-dovey, yo.
Mhm.
Don't fight on.
Don't get on camera.
No. Hey, so it was my first time yesterday. Well, I guess most people's. In fact, yeah, almost everybody's first time back in the refurbished dome.
Yeah, how was it? Is it way different?
So it's considered. Yeah. So if you're somebody who's in the dome a lot, you'd notice, a couple things. The outside of the dome is beautiful. Like whatever they did, it shines
really?
again. Yeah, the
Okay.
outside of the Superdome is beautiful. And the inside is very much refreshed. It is. It's very light. It's all, and they move things around. There's a lot more in the what do you call it? The
concourse.
There you go. That's why you're around, Juan. You got the words in the concourse. They've widened that. But it's still the dome. The bathrooms are new, still the same, not really enough. In the Superdome, you can go from there is no line at the bathroom to there's a 15-minute line in the bathroom in 12 seconds. I mean, everybody at the same time. And it's, they, to me, had game one level service at the various food things, and the bars were a train wreck.
Oh, really?
So slow. And but this is New Orleans. This is I had tipped in New Orleans, or where this guy was from. So I missed almost the entire third quarter of the game live. I ended up seeing it on the TV. So I jumped up. I waited till the end of the half. I was gonna go to the restroom and get a couple beers. I get a beer for me and my wife. So get to the restroom. That's when we had the conversation, the aforementioned conversation at the urinal is, are we this good or are they that bad? And then I said, I'm just going to go. The bar areas are kind of different now. And I made the mistake of the kind of a nice one in the middle that they serves on both sides. And so I could just got in line. There's only, I don't know, 6 people in front of me. I lost my patience at 5 minutes. I lost my mind at about 10. Said some words I shouldn't have said. Left that line, walked around to the other side, found another line to get in just to see how long. And 10 minutes doesn't sound like a long time, y'all. It's a long
It's a
time.
long time, especially when you know that the game that you're missing.
Well, and everybody's ordering mixed drinks. I'm like, man, get some beer. And then the other thing becomes obvious is the folks that are serving. Excuse me, I think I'm gonna sneeze. The thing that the folks that are serving are not paid for how many.
Yeah, no,
I mean, they don't. So moving slow. Again,
don't care.
maybe it's game one. They don't know where the stuff's at. So I end up in another line. I'm standing behind this I say young man. He wasn't a young man, but he was younger than me. So I'm guessing in his 30s. 34. Cool guy. Just standing there. I'm just shaking my head saying, man, I cannot believe how slow this is. And they're like, yeah, this, that. And then I make the comment about, I said, they ought to have one line just for beer. Just have one line where, hey, just deal with the 20 to 30 second.
Right.
I said, all these people that are just ordering special drinks and they're having to explain how to make them. And right. So a few minutes goes by when this guy, it's his turn to order. He's one of these special, he's giving the directions, take some of that cherry juice, pour that in here.
Yeah, look, man, if you got to explain to the bartender in that situation how to make the drink you want,
but
drink something else.
He's doing this, right? And I was trying to figure out, what are you drinking? It was Crown Royal and then something else in there. And then some cherry, like he had a cherry or something thrown in there, but then they hadn't poured some of the cherry juice in there and whatever. And he had a couple of those going. And I didn't say anything. I was just, trying to watch the game. And then the lady asked, well, what do you want? I said, I just want two, what I got, like 2 Konas, whatever. And then the guy's like, hey, man, put those on my tab. I'm like, no. I said, no, dude, you can't buy my beers. No, man, I'm getting one from you too. I want one. I'm pulling out money. I said, no, man, I cannot let you. And he said, no, man, no. First game, man, it's on me. So I dapped him up. I'm like, all right, what's your name? Troy. So shout out to Troy. Troy's a good dude.
Tell him you catch him next round at the next game.
I told him that game. I said, hey, man, I'll probably be back again. So I owe you one. So shout out to Troy, who which also kind of, Juan, sometimes when you complain, it pays off. If I'd have kept my mouth, because that's the other thing too. It wasn't like he was buying me, a couple of $4 beers. These things are what they're like $10, $11, $12.
Yeah, anything at the dome.
That dude dropped 20 something dollars on,
Well, one thing I noticed at the LSU game, the part of the concessions is set up almost like a little convenience store, if you will, where it's got all the, like, for whether it's beer, water, any kind of soft drink, it's got the open air coolers or the pull coolers, all the snacks, like, if you want like chips or peanuts and stuff like that. So you basically walk in there, grab your own thing, and then they've got people, it's all cashless. So you've got people, multiple people at the exit standing there to swipe your card.
You said you noticed that where?
At LSU.
Yeah. The dome has at least, we saw the one on our side. I'm sure there were others, but you can tell New Orleans is getting ready for the Super Bowl. I mean, stuff that they never fix, they're fixing. They're redoing all the roads. Heaven forbid Roger Goodell hits a pothole.
It's a bump in his car. Yeah.
When he's in town, but there you go. So it was that was great. The other one's kind of funny. And I made this comment before about I'll say this. It's a free country. I'm so tired of lawyer ads. Are they the only people besides?
That's all they got here, man. That's all. It used to be in Louisiana. As far as local ads, it used to be all the car dealers. Now it's all the personal injury attorneys.
And they got that guy, but I mean, I'd love to know what they pay. The Dozier, whatever. So throw your fours, I guess it is.
Oh, it's Dudley DeBosier. It's 2 guys. It's one dude's Dudley and the other one's DeBosier.
Okay, so
and their phone number's 4444444.
Not to be confused with the person, the billboard on the way in 77777. And I'm thinking So that's genius marketing. They're saying, you know, who's our clientele we going for? They're not
Not at
probably
the dome.
we're not looking for literate. We're not really looking for anybody who's going to do any kind of thinking about who they hire to sue somebody. Let's just get a phone number that's all the same number. So
Yeah.
so they can just push that same number. But it's funny, as it turns out, our friends, Gavin and Dolly, their granddaughter, because game last year, the year before, anyway, they were going into a game and they were out there shooting. They shot a commercial, like throw your fours, whatever. So their granddaughter and their son's in one of the
Oh,
I thought, so we were sitting at the Eliza Jane the first night after dinner and stuff, sitting around a couple drinks, and then it came on TV and it was on there. And Gavin jumps up, and I just thought he had too many. He was like, "Hey, that's what the granddaughter on TV." It's like, yeah, sit down, man, shut up. That's not.
that's
But
funny.
but that's cool. Yeah, good deal.
Oh,
Um,
I'll tell you a good customer service story. Last week happened twice. FedEx um, driver coming to our neighborhood. I guess the guy decided that was as far as he was going when he got near the gate. Stopped at the little call box, just put all the packages right there.
really?
Didn't let anybody know. But then when people went through, it was even for different neighborhoods and businesses.
FedEx,
So,
huh?
yeah. So it's like, okay, why would you do that? Next day, did it again.
Okay, he's either a newbie and special and doesn't understand, or I, yeah, I don't know how. Well, how is that supposed to work, man? If I got to do a delivery to a gated community, how does that?
You buzz the person from the gate and they let you in, or like 90% of everybody else, you just sit there and wait for somebody else to open the gate and you
Yeah,
follow them in.
yeah, okay,
Yeah, I
interesting.
never get, look, we get deliveries all the time. I never get anybody calling, saying FedEx, can you let me in?
No, no, no. Well, hopefully people aren't going to start trolling your neighborhood, man.
I don't know, but you just think, like even businesses and stuff. So we'll see that, they got video camera up there. So they send it to FedEx and
I
see how
was
that all plays out.
I kind of stuck on the New Orleans on New Orleans. Got to get some of this. Just it's sad that as the weekend's going on, I keep thinking, "Oh, I gotta tell that to Juan. I gotta tell that one to Juan." We're walking on the way from our hotel to. Well, I actually texted you and Rick early. We stopped on the way out of our hotel. We stopped into and I'd gone a little bit too hard the night before, so I wasn't doing any of that. People that say, "Hey, let's do Bloody Marys to get the day started." And hey, how about we don't? How about I mean, y'all can, but hey, how about um? So I think it's called the Little Bar on Gravier or something. Got a little hole in you mean define hole in the wall place. Yeah, they got dirt and stuff in there from 1984. I promise you, but charming, right?
Hmm.
Like the bartender, she had a crock pot. She just started some kind of dot show stuff she makes herself. Like, I guess for people, I'm just funny. Like, a crock pot out here with cheese. It just started. It wasn't like you could have any yet. They had a cigarette machine. I haven't
Dude,
seen.
that's old.
I have not. I've not seen a cigarette machine in forever. Of course, I don't go to Waffle Houses as much as I used
I
to.
don't think they have cigarette machines in
They
Waffle
don't.
House.
Well, they got a cigarette machine at the little bar on Gravy or whatever it is. You know what? Pack of cigarettes and a machine
I was
run you
going to ask how much.
$12. $12. And the picture I sent you guys, I said, well, it's gonna be a big weekend. I went to the okay, listen. Now, granted, we caught it early in the day, so it was as clean as it was gonna get. The restroom in there
Oh, that's
is
where the ice was.
yeah, dude, I tell you, it's a closet. This place is really small, so this restroom has one urinal like a trough, but it's not a very big trough. In fact, if you're using that with somebody else, you guys have become friends. I mean, it's kind of and one toilet behind this dilapidated, beat up looking, wooden stall that I wouldn't have the nerve
Yeah.
to look into, right? But yeah, and in the corners a mop and the bucket and stuff. So that's apparently also the but it was charming. My friends, that's one of their it's kind of place you want to catch early. Now later on in the day, we on the way back, we walked and there was it's doing doing good business. But ice in the urinal. That's when I said, oh,
That's always a good sign.
but that
You
the
knew it
bathroom
was going to
still
get
smelled.
busy.
Still kind of smelled. It still kind of smelled like that old phrase, it stinks on ice. That's now a place that doesn't stink on ice. We had our dinner last night. It was my son's birthday yesterday, Abe's birthday. So he sort of did a bunch of stuff this weekend, but we had birthday dinner at Pesh. You ever
Oh, I have not been there. Who's
Gordon?
big chef's restaurants, right?
Isn't it what's his name? Besh?
John Besh.
John Besh. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's it. John Besh. Yeah, Pesh. We've been there once or twice before, so I do recommend that y'all. It's great. Um, if you're gonna have trouble making your mortgage this month, you might want to skip. You might want to skip. That's not the kind of place you want to go to when you're in a good mood, you kind of celebrate and you're kind of doing whatever, and then like you're not even keeping math. Like, oh yeah, let's start off with everybody, 6 people, everybody get drinks. And then, well, we're not sure we want. How about everybody get a bowl of gumbo? Everybody gets a bowl of gumbo. Everybody get more drinks. Tell you what, let's get starters for the table and double up on blah, 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 blah. And then steak, like they do a steak for the table where they cut whatever, and a fish for the table. Now, hey, don't get me wrong. It's excellently done. I guess this is how you do it. I've never been big on, they just bring out a big freaking fish head to tail. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, right? Head to tail, baby. It's and you peel back the skin. There's no scales on it, but you peel back the skin, and then you basically fork the meat off, right? And then you
I'm not into the communal eating either, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess that's one. But I mean, it was my son's. It was all good. But yeah, so enjoy it, but that's why we only eat there once a year, Juan.
Yeah, well, we went Friday night to Sullivan Steakhouse, which I think is a chain. It's akin to Ruth Chris.
Okay.
Maybe not quite that level. But I mean, steak on the menus, $80-$90.
Hello.
Yeah. So we weren't going to eat there, but a friend of mine was playing music they've got a lounge there. And when we got there, I'm walking towards the lounge, and like the little hostess says, "Where are you going?" He tells us I was going to the lounge. It's not open till 9. I said, "Oh, okay, yeah, whatever. I'll go sit here in the bar and have a couple drinks." So we went, and then he said a friend of mine was playing music. And so when it got time to open, we went. $15 cover to get in. But they thought we had eaten in the restaurant because Joey had a martini glass with her when we were walking in there, so they didn't charge us, which was good.
Well, there you go.
I know. But when I tell you the oddest thing, and we were the only, for the majority of the time we were there, we were the only white people in there.
Juan, I don't see color, so
I know. I didn't either until that night.
Hey, Juan, I could have told you the same thing at the Saints game, the section I was at. I just, hey, you just go, hey, all right. But what you gonna do? All right, that's
Yeah, but no. Then there was another.
Wait, well, let me just go figure this out. So, is your friend white?
No.
Oh, all right, man. I mean, there you go.
All right. So my friend, though.
So his audience was a different audience.
My friend is going to be on The Voice.
Really?
So I want everybody to go follow him on Instagram. His name is Cozy, Cozy Len, Len.
Cozy Len.
Cozy Len. Yep, phenomenal singer. He also sings at my church.
Okay.
But then there was another couple in there who was like, another white couple who you wished wouldn't have been in there because obnoxiously drunk. And she was one of the women who was, I mean, probably my age, but out there dancing like she was, 25 trying to hook up on some dude. But she had, I tell people said it's like she had all the ending moves of a dance, but none of the ones that led up to it.
Just enjoy yourself, folks. just enjoy yourself. The Cozy Len.
Cozy Len. Yep.
All right. Well,
On The
check.
Voice.
Check. Well, check. Cozy Len. I started to tell you this one a second ago. One thing I thought I got to tell it to Juan. So we're walking from that little bar to the dome, and we get around not far from walk-ons. You know, on Poitras, not far from
Yeah.
walk-ons, and they got outside. They have these tents set up. Just you can walk. Anyway, so my friend Gavin runs into somebody, and man, I forget the guy's name. I think it's Clint. If it's not Clint, I'm sorry. Apparently, I saw him again. I saw him last year. So I'm saying it's funny. The South Lafourche people are all, and they're just talking. They're all just you're catching up, and I don't even know how the story got there. I think my friend might have asked him about a comedy he made or funny about his TV. If he's still having trouble with his TV, and I said, "What are you talking about?" And it's just to hear a Bayou person. I don't know what this guy does for a living, but he wasn't a little guy. He looked like he could handle himself. He looked like a real, an authentic Cajun.
Yeah.
What you want to do, man? You want to have a beer? You want to fight? You want to?
He probably has some overalls in his closet.
I don't know. I mean, I think he does well. Whatever he does, I think he does well. So I don't think he's the overall. But anyway, he's a Cajun guy. So he starts telling about his damn TV. He says, "Man," he says, I couldn't get it off as Spanish. He's playing Spanish, and I come home for lunch, and I guess he works on the bar, and he's lived close enough to his house. He's like, sometimes I come home for lunch, and The Bold and the Beautiful's on at lunchtime. So I watched The Bold and the Beautiful, and dude, right there, I started. I didn't. I was smiling, and I didn't want my smile to be like. Because it was just so interesting to see this guy, this big Cajun dude saying, "No, and I'm at home for lunch, and I watched The Bold and the Beautiful," and the regular commercials were in English, and then when The Bold and Beautiful came on, it's all in Spanish, and I'm like, "What the hell?" I'm trying to figure out. I said, "It can't be, is that the station that's doing that?" So I took my lunch, I went into my bedroom, and the TV there, so I watched The Bold and the Beautiful, but then I realized. It must be that TV because, man, I was ready to throw that. I was about to grab that dang thing off the wall and throw it in the garbage can. He said, and then, then I said, then my wife showed me there's a button. I just pushed the button on the remote and it went back to English. And both Gavin and I said, I think I'd prefer to watch it in Spanish. I mean,
really.
I may sit down and watch me some Bold and the Beautiful. And
you could probably get just as and follow it just as easily.
It just cracked me up though. Just, Bold and the Beautiful's on at lunchtime. So
he could have left that part of the story out. And it would have been just as the story wouldn't have been nearly as entertaining.
I watched that. So the one thing I wanted to talk, all the stuff, there's a couple things to get to before we get out of here. But the one thing, the story of the week to me, and it's not maybe the story of the week to some of you, but it's the one that stopped me and that had me looking, saying, "Is this for real?" Apparently, and I saw the first clip. It was a gentleman in Springfield, Ohio, at a city council meeting. Young African American gentleman. He was at the those things were kind of viral where they get like a minute or 2 minutes to address the council. And this guy was asking, "Who's making money? I just want to know who is getting paid for all of these immigrants. I don't know if you call them illegals or not, but all these people that are being dumped in our community, that are literally buses are pulling up and dumping them at places." And he's explaining some of the stuff going on. He said, when we're in the park and some of these people are catching ducks and wringing their heads off right there and cooking and eating the ducks in the park. And I was thinking, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you start apparently, and I don't look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not trying to lie to you, but apparently the stuff I've been seeing is that it's a problem that's especially it's especially prevalent with the Haitian immigrants, the Haitians, and I don't know, and that they are, hey man, if you're in Haiti, it sucks to be a chicken or a duck or a goose running loose because that's food. That's what's going to happen. And I'm just shaking my head saying, I thought like the Clinton Global Initiative cleaned all that up. I thought they totally fixed Haiti, but hey guys, guess what? When you take people that's
Right. That's their culture.
I'm not even mad at it. That's the thing. I'm not even. I think in their mind they'd almost look at Americans and say,
Dude,
"What?
they got so much food in this country.
They let
I'm
the
just
food. They
hanging out
let
in
the
the
food
park and
run
it
around in the
walks up
park.
to you. It walks up to
They're
you.
dumb. They think I'm coming try to give them breadcrumbs. Look at this goose I got. There's a picture that went crazy viral. There's one guy and he's walking again. And I'm not just saying, look, it might not be. I don't want to disparage, but it was hate. They saying this is a Haitian whatever, and the dude's walking through the park, and he done rung. He's got a goose. He's carrying he's carrying a goose that he just wrung the neck. And the guy says, "This guy's walking like he just went to Chick-fil-A." He's like he got a bag of Chick-fil-A. He's bringing back to
yeah.
And the other one, and this is it's being reported, and even the real news is talking about this now. People are eating cats. Hey, some cultures you eat anything, right?
Yeah.
So their pet cats are turning up missing, and it ain't coyotes getting them. So that might be something that should come up in the debate tomorrow night.
I hear you, man, because that would sway some people.
Oh. Now I'm gonna give credit. I was listening to the radio today, and it might have been Clay or Buck or somebody else that made that comment about JD Vance got in a lot of trouble. Well, not a lot of. Well, he didn't get in a lot of trouble. They just made a big deal about some comments he made years ago about cat. I think
yeah.
I don't know if he's call them cat ladies or he said something along the term of cat people, and oh man, they're just slamming him for that, and they're like kind of torn now, aren't you? Have you seen there's some memes out there with cats holding up vote Trump signs? As ridiculous as that seems, I'm telling you, that resonates with people more than most things.
Oh God, yeah, because the crazy cat people.
Hey, like I don't care, but the policies and the cops can't keep up with stuff and the cities have gone to hell and oh my gosh, everything. Wait a minute, people are eating the ducks in the parks. That we have to stop. So go figure. I know my ancestors, my grandpas would have been like, meh.
Yeah,
that was a good looking duck.
Easy shot.
Good looking duck. That guy not dumb. But yeah. So good luck, America. That's So we're doing this on a Monday night. We said that
right.
Day late. So it's tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's
the debate.
What a train.
I have heard though that President Biden's numbers have been his approval ratings have really taken an upward tick now that he's disappeared.
So for the record, I wrote it down. You said that clicked here. He has been on vacation, and this is just facts, guys. This is not. He has now been on vacation 532 days of his term. Perspective, that's 40%.
Yeah, it's a year and a half.
40% of his time in office have been vacation days. So
most of you listening don't get that kind of vacation in your life.
And which again makes you wonder, bro, if it gets real tonight, because we've got actual wars, near wars, soon to be wars happening all over the world. And man, God forbid, and I don't want to be the conspiracy theorist, but they got some folks, I think, on our side in charge that would not mind leading into the election. I don't think they would mind one of these really ramping up.
Yeah.
I just don't think they would. I think whatever can get thrown at us to make us panic, make us whatever. Who's answering that phone call? Who's right? That's all.
She's not there.
I think it's a fair question. Who's, yeah, we got cell phones at the beach. We can, right?
Not secure
on the beach, right? So hang in there, America. Hang in there.
It's interesting. Yeah, we'll see. Are you gonna watch the debate?
Well, we're actually tomorrow night going to be at a play.
Okay.
Dear Evan Hansen,
So
fantastic
will
play.
Hillary. So will
Joe Biden.
Kamala Harris.
Yeah, Kamala. Well,
She'll be
yeah,
she'll be out there reading citing rehearsed lines as well.
man. I it I go both ways with this. I honestly want two competent people. I want the options to be like it maybe used to be, where your guy wins, your guy doesn't win, whatever. End of the day, it's all gonna be it's
Yeah,
gonna be
we're
okay.
close to the middle. You get something skew a little bit this way, something skew a little bit that way.
Dude, I don't feel that this time. Either way, I if it goes one way, we see where we're going. If it goes the other way, they're gonna who
Right.
knows what they're gonna pull. But what's funny now is, I mean, Trump's all in. He said he put something out yesterday. He's getting loud about, hey, after this election, anybody that gets caught cheating is going to jail. And I mean, like big long thing about if you mess with the election, if you election interference, he goes, you need to know this applies to lawyers. It applies to. He's going down the list saying, hey, when I win, anybody who's cheating or be proved cheating, they're going to jail. Okay. Yeah. Now here's what's interesting. You got one side that tells you we got the cleanest elections in the world. Nobody cheats, right? How dare you? How dare you suggest that there's anything hinky going on? Okay. If that's the case, somebody threatening to throw people in jail wouldn't be a big deal.
Right.
They're coming out saying Trump's threatening to put thousands of people
grandstanding. Yeah.
Trump is threatening to put thousands of people in jail. Well, hang on. That's not what he said.
Yeah. Who?
Right. So which one is it? Do we have, clean as the driven snow, pure as the driven snow elections, or thousands of people going to go to jail? So
but I also talk about, when it's, we're back to the whole Russian interference crap, and, Russia's trying to influence our stuff. Well, they've always tried to do that, but
they've been mad at us ever since Rocky IV.
Yeah, well, yeah. What's his name? Loft.
I will break you. No.
But who's in charge of the elections and security?
Well, we mean individually states. I mean, states are in
charge. No, but I mean, so whose fault is it if Russians are interfering in our elections? Isn't it?
Oh, dude, it's only interference if it goes the wrong way.
Yeah.
Right. That's the. I just like how the rest of the world literally looks at us and says, how do y'all do that? Huh? What bunch of couillon shoes came up with that plan? Like, wait, you can just vote.
You can do it if you get a piece of paper come to your house and it's somebody else's name. You can send it in, no big deal.
Some came up in Missouri the other day, and again, I'm paraphrasing. Okay, so I don't have the numbers exact, but I remember they were bizarro. Where something in a short period of time there was like 70-something thousand registrants, new registrants, whatever, for to vote, and 20-something thousand were dead.
Yeah,
I mean that's literally what's happening right now. That's so. But again,
where is it? Ohio, I think that they cleaned up the registry and just took hundreds of thousands of names off.
Well, supposedly they took 1 million off here in Texas. Now, Texas is massive. Okay, Texas is massive. But I got news for you. And we do what we're going to do. But if I get any more texts asking for $10 from the Trump campaign, I just might. I'm gonna write in. I'll write in Jeff Landry or something.
See, I don't get any. I don't think I've ever gotten one.
I get 10 a day. And here's the deal. I've never given money to the Trump campaign, but apparently I've given money to people who are adjacent. Gotcha. And they all sell the same.
Yeah, they sell the same list.
And good grief, man. Good grief.
Now,
part of me's thinking, man, I must be cheap because all you asking for 10. Local, they ask you to go to like dinners and stuff, and you get to pay. They ask it costs some change to show up at these things, but now they're just like $10. So well, that won't even buy you a pack of cigarettes.
Several political surveys through text, and it typically takes about 2 questions in before you can figure out who is conducting the survey.
Yeah.
So I'll do it, and basically I'm answering to screw up the results is my whole purpose.
Well, I got one right here. As we're talking, please answer question number 1 before my date with Kamala. Take MAGA poll. Stop with the MAGA stuff. All right. I get it. I get it. I'm not, and I'm not anti. I'm not part of the club. I don't want to be in a club. I don't want to be in a club. It'd be nice to have somebody who actually was, if somebody's going to be the captain of your team, you want them to be on your team. That's all I'm saying.
It'd be nice to have to not have to pay attention.
What a blessing. Who knew, y'all? Who knew? Those of you that are on our age have lived our lives, not totally consumed with politics because, and then somewhere along the way, well, something we are a little, we'll see. And again, it'll play out before we're here again. Looking like a hurricane, hopefully a minor one.
Yep.
Hopefully.
I don't know. Joe stopped at the store this morning early, not because of this, just because she had time and was on the road. And she said Walmart was, this is probably at 9:00 this morning. Walmart was pretty much drained of bread and water. I've seen people on the road today, gas station lining up. I planned to eat this week before I knew there was a hurricane coming, so I'm good on food.
Good on food.
So I did go get gas for my generator
as we speak right now. All right, it could be so. But look, you're talking to a guy who went almost a week without power, just on a Cat 1.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we had a Cat 1 come through here. What was it, a month ago, 2 months ago?
Probably a month and a half, I guess.
And we were on the damn dirty side. Those of you that are on the bar, you know what the dirty side is. So apparently, right now they have this thing projected, and this is as of 6 p.m. Monday, September 9th. All right. What am I using here? AccuWeather, whatever the app is.
Mm-hmm.
They've got it coming on just to the west of Lafayette. So brings it up. So
that puts Baton Rouge on the wet
on the dirty side. Yeah, you're on the dirty side.
Okay.
But from Morgan City, home. So
they said Canatory was going to be in Morgan City. I think he was in Lafayette today. That's the Jim Canatory sighting, or however you say his name.
Well, Morgan City would suck if it's for my part of the world. If the eye comes through Morgan City, it's not. That would suck. And I don't wish this on anybody, y'all. But batten down the hatches, and the water ought to come out of your tap. I don't know that I guess they may give you a boiled water.
That's what people freak out over. If if the power goes out in the water plant, but I don't know that that's ever happened here down in the South. My dad had that where they had the boiled water advisory. But
all I'm hoping is that whatever happens, that Louisiana learned, and those folks learned its lesson from the couillon shoes that handled our situation here in Houston, that just mishandled. I really do, because I think it woke up a lot of people. Totally. Well, I guess it's not totally unrelated. Kind of related. Here's an interesting one. I got a call last week, and I almost didn't. Not that I wouldn't take it. Actually, it's a text. And I thought it was a bank asking me about possibility of speaking at something. And a guy said who he was. And, it was at the bank that I'd spoken at something before. But it turns out that he was just like on the board of this bank. But his actual job, he works for an electric cooperative, electric company in Mississippi. And they got some big all-employee thing coming in that they want me to speak at. So I'm like, I was laughing at guys because, man, I've seen you speak, and really, it's 90% has nothing to do with banking. He said, I know you can do. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'll do, who's going to be in the office? Like 200 something, 300 people. Oh man, we have a lot of linemen, a lot of the guys that actually get up on the poles and fix stuff, and everything from them to the back office staff and everything. So I laughed. I said, yeah, hey,
they'll do to love you, man.
Let's do this. And all he said, the guy that booked me says, man, I just want you to do the Cajun accent. I said, well, you don't have to worry about me doing it.
Yeah. Okay. Let me make a note of that.
Because I put on something kind of, sometimes I play around and I make the joke about that. I just need you to do that Cajun accent. And you got to tell that swimming pool story. I don't know. I'll tell you the swimming pool story some other time. But yeah. So you got it, bro. I'll be there. And I think it's in Hattiesburg. I don't know. It's in a few weeks, but That'll be a different one, man. That'll be a different
Branching out, dude. You're branching out.
That's what they said. They said, "Oh man, we got all these co-ops. They always ask about speakers." I'm like, "Hey man, I'm your man. I'm your man. Let me get some material for the guys that climb poles. You know,
Yeah, just just let me know I got the whatever you need, the 10% for me to specialize. I'll go ahead and target that to the pole guys.
And I say that, the old joke is a dad's job is to keep his daughter off the pole, but it's to get his sons on the pole. Are you with me? Gee, that didn't go over very well at all. Okay, moving on. Well, let's see. I think it's about time to move on, isn't it?
I think it is.
I'm about to get on out of here. America, there you go. I mean, it was a day late, but hey, not a dollar short. You know what I'm
No.
saying? All right. We're going to push the button. Get on out of here. See if any of this stuff stuck to the magic tape up in the sky. If you want to reach us, not that hard. Dave and Juan at protonmail.com.
And right here.
Right here. Wherever you at. If you're on the YouTubes, the Spotify's. I was doing something the other side. I go to sleep a lot of times with Spotify in my ear, like I said, because if it's quiet, I have trouble sleeping. So I listen and I'll go to sleep and then stuff just cycles through. And I'm like, every now and then Dave and Juan will come in my, in my earbud. I'm like, what
That'll be scary.
A little bit. But hey, again, every week, it's not a hint, suggestion. We don't imply, freaking mandate.
It's a freaking mandate. Got to do it, bro.
Freaking mandate. Go live your best life. Go live your best life. Those of you that are in the cone of the hurricane, and we may well be. They're saying it's turning. I don't trust any of this nonsense anymore. But wherever you are, okay, you know what? Normally, if you got a hurricane coming, might not be. But you know what? Maybe it is. Get yourself prepped.
Look, man, it could be like New Orleans. Maybe you've been needing to wash your house. This could take care of that for you.
Maybe the upside is we've had so many storms recently. All the weak trees are gone. They're, just right. But whatever the case may be, whether you got the sun shining on you or you're dealing with a Cat 1, whatever it is, try to live your best life, yo. Be glad you got one.
Yeah, could be worse.
All right. Watch for fallen trees. Don't get on the road. Don't be a couillon. Apparently, the Galliana Walmart I saw a picture today, it's out of potted meat, out of Vienna
No Vienna sausage for you.
Man, they just out. I got some up here because, I hope and that's what's funny too. I'd buy, at Sam's, I'd buy these cases of, and man, there's not, there might be 12 or however many cans, cases of Vienna sausage and potted meat, stuff like that. And so they got some in the pantry usually. And my wife would say, well, you better check that. You bought that like a year or two ago. I'm like, you think that stuff goes bad?
No, man, that's like forever.
Good. Man, you can eat a can of Armor potted meat from 2012.
Right. A couple 100 years from now, an archaeologist is going to be digging up your house and they're going to take a break to eat some Vienna sausage that they got at your pantry.
That stuff's got enough sodium to keep other food. Like if you got other food that's going to go bad, rub some potted meat on there.
Just open the can.
That's enough sodium to keep that. So it ought to say best if used by forever.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff will never go bad because it was never that good. It was all right. Boring. That's a Jerry Seinfeld. I don't want to get sued. That's a Jerry Seinfeld-ish kind of joke. But all right. There it is. Guys, again, those of you be safe out there. Hope it's it's a great week for you. And we will see you sometime next week. All right. Love you, bro.
I got you, dude. So I talked a couple weeks ago about my maybe not a couple weeks ago. My cousin who had lived by my dad who passed away. He was cremated. And if you've ever, you've been to funerals where a person's cremated. And typically, they'll put the urn at the front of the church. And
correct.
Everybody goes up.
And a picture. Yeah, picture.
Yeah. Pay the respect.
Picture of pictures. Yeah.
Well, so I forgot about it, so I didn't make the funeral. But my sister told me this. So they didn't have that at this point, at this funeral. Like there was nothing in the front of the church. And the music started to play like as though the funeral were beginning. But, my dad speaks louder than he should. So he basically posed the question, well, where's Kevin? who's the
Oh.
deceased.
Well, okay. Okay. Well, where was Kevin?
They brought the urn up with the procession.
Oh, they deal with that. Oh, yeah. No, we
Yeah.
don't. I guess that's a way to do it.
Yeah.
We do. Where's Kevin?
Where's Kevin? How can we thought Kevin's not here?
It's over. Go home.